It was meant to be a celebration. Laughter, champagne, the soft murmur of office gossip, blending with the clink of glasses. Then his voice rang out, loud, sharp, aimed straight at the person footing the bill for our future. The room froze. Eyes turned toward me, glasses paused midair. He was smiling, wide, confident, stupidly proud. My wife's work partner, the man she insisted was just a friend, her co-lead on the new merger deal. Her laugh came half a second too late, brittle, nervous. I looked at her. She couldn't meet my eyes. I didn't speak. I didn't move. I set my glass down deliberately and walked out. We'd been married 12 years. I'd met her when I was a broke engineer, designing systems no one noticed. She was in marketing, bright, ambitious, the kind of person who could light up any room. I loved that about her. When she joined a new company, she called it a fresh start, better pay, bigger network. I believed her. I even helped negotiate her contract, reviewing every clause, refining the benefits. My expertise became her advantage. I didn't know how far she would take that habit. The warning signs were small at first. Late nights at the office, weekend strategy sessions, lock screens, hurried swipes whenever I entered the room. One night, she came home smelling of whiskey and his cologne. I recognized it immediately from last year's company retreat. I waited. Anger is easy. Patience is harder. Patience cuts deeper. I didn't confront her. I observed. Her phone automatically backed up to the cloud. She didn't know I built that system. Weeks of messages, jokes, photos, plans. I saw everything. He wasn't just a fling. He was an investment. She'd been funneling confidential information from the merger I drafted to my consulting firm. Market strategies, intellectual property, sensitive emails. She wasn't just cheating. She was robbing me. So I planned. I made copies. Every email, file, note she forwarded. I traced the leaks. Then I set a trap. I sent her a draft file labeled confidential merger terms, unreleased. Inside was a fake clause that looked real, but linked to a dummy company I controlled through a shell firm. 2 days later, his IP accessed it. Perfect. I had everything I needed. Proof of corporate espionage, insider leaks, fiduciary breaches, all traceable to her login and his device. I didn't go to HR. I sent it straight to the CEO, anonymous, encrypted, a week before the Christmas party. So when I heard his toast that night, I wasn't angry. I was ready. His arrogance was a final note of a song I'd already composed. The next morning, the fallout began. Her phone buzzed at 8:12 a.m. She looked pale before even answering. "Yes, sir," she said, voice trembling. I heard the CEO's tone through the speaker. Cold, sharp. "The merger is off. Tell your boyfriend never to set foot in this office again, and you call your husband and start begging." Her mouth went dry. She looked at me, and for the first time, I saw fear. She dropped the phone. I said nothing. Within 24 hours, his career was over. Security escorted him out. Unauthorized access, data theft, breach of contract. The news spread fast. He tried to deny it, but the logs, emails, timestamps were airtight. He lost his job, his clearance, his reputation. And her. She was named in the company's legal notice as a participant in an internal data breach. Terminated immediately. The man she risked everything for didn't even return her messages. She sat in silence for days. The same woman who once filled every room with noise. When she finally spoke, barely above a whisper, "Did you do this?" I met her eyes, calm, controlled. "I didn't have to," I said. "You did," she cried, not softly, but ugly, choked with regret and disbelief. I packed my things quietly. She begged me to stay, to talk, to explain, but I'd already said everything I needed to say without words. I left the house, the mortgage, the silence. I kept the one thing she couldn't fake, my peace. A week later, I received a message from her former CEO. "Your evidence saved us millions. If you ever want a position here, it's yours." I didn't take it. I didn't need to. Revenge isn't about reclaiming what's lost. It's about restoring balance. Sometimes I think back to that night. The room, the laughter, his glass raised in mockery. They thought it was a game. They forgot I built the board. I didn't destroy them. They destroyed themselves on their own fault lines of arrogance. I simply drew the map and walked away before the ground gave way. When people ask why I left her, I smile. She made a toast endings to justice, to the quiet satisfaction of watching truth burn brighter than revenge. Sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's the sound of someone finally hearing the truth.